without necessarily referring to any partner or projects as such, I think what for us going forward is going to be much more a focus, particularly for the portfolio that I lead, is that increasingly the focus on that preparedness piece and the link between the effects of climate change and the patterns of change we see in the climate, how that relates to forced displacement and migration in that, and why people are then on the move, is something that we're going to invest in much more. We always had attention to, again, that economic empowerment piece, so that self-reliance or the livelihoods or just getting people into an income is there and will continue to be there. We're hoping to continue to stay a large contributor to the refugee cause, but increasingly and across board in the foundation, there's an attention to make sure we're prepared for any disaster that may come, both man-made and conflict or natural disaster related. So that is definitely a new direction we're going to head into. We're using this year to learn a lot more about it and to understand exactly how we can play a role. Because we also know we're a larger funder in some areas, but also not that large compared to some of the institutional donors. So we really need to make smart decisions as to where our funding would make the most difference. And so that's what we're going to do now, and really see how we can support communities who are at risk of displacement, who are displaced, to really be much more prepared for disasters. I think first part of it is our own growth, our own professionalization, if you will. We started very small. When I started, it was really a few people. So we've grown quite significantly over the last few years. So there's an investment in our own people, making sure we are staffed properly, that we can deliver quality grant making, and that we have a good mix of people, that we can challenge each other, but also people that like living by the IKEA Foundation values and principles. I think that's one part of it. And with that, with every hire you do, they bring a network, and we've definitely also invested in the leadership or the management positions in the foundation. And that's been tremendously helpful in understanding much more around the philanthropic landscape, who's there, what do other foundations do, but also who are good research groups and who are the think tanks you want to pick brains off, and who are partners we hadn't considered before. So there's a conscious process that we go through, more investment in research anyways, and in think tanks, to not only for the partners to be supported by policy reform thinking and academic backgrounds, but also for ourselves to draw from those groups much more directly and see how we should steer our strategy and stay up to date, so to speak. And going forward, that's going to continue to be so. It's always an interesting question to see what is your perfect partner portfolio, who should you engage. But that's an ongoing process at all times.